Hey vinyl community, this is Chris. I'm here to participate in a thread that I saw a month or more ago, but I think Melinda Murphy started about her favorite artists that made up a majority of her collection. So I counted through mine, forgot my criteria, but these are the top 20, it turns out, albums or artists I have based on the number of vinyl LPs. I think I'd done one of these a while back, but I included CDs and digital copies and things, so I had a completely different outcome. So this one is, seems like it's country and classical oriented. They seem to dominate the numbers, but anyway, to start with some honorable mentions. These are all artists that I have 24 albums by, even though I might show a CD or something else. 24 albums make up the collection, so and I tried to show the most recent acquisition that I had with each of these artists. So Doug Sahm is one of the honorable mentions with 24 albums, and the most recent one I got was this Sir Douglas Quintet, the Crazy Cajun recordings, 2 LP set, Doug Sahm stuff, and an actual Doug Sahm recording, live Austin City Limits. Another, well, this is a 3-sided album, Doug Sahm, New West recording, New West Records. Brahms was another honorable mention with 24. So here's Brahms Klavierstück. Walter Giesking is the pianist on Angel Records. So there's two more honorable mentions. David Bowie. This was the most recent acquisition. David Bowie, an EP from the Toy issue. So this is a 6-song album. David Bowie, Toy. You've got it made with all the toys was the subtitle. So that was the most recent acquisition. And just to show something else, Tin Machine album. And here's a Tin Machine 12-inch Under the God. And Sacrifice Yourself. So I didn't count that. I don't think I counted that towards the David Bowie total, but he's definitely a major player in Tin Machine. And then the Osborne Brothers Bluegrass Band, that was another honorable mention with 24 vinyl releases that I have. This is called Number One. On CMH. All right, now into the proper top 20. Tied for number 13 with 4 artists, 27 albums each. See if I get this right. Vladimir Horowitz. His historic return, 1965-66. His first concert in 12 years. Though he had been recording during that time, but first concert at Carnegie Hall. Rick Nelson, Love and Kisses on Decca, 1965, I think. Also tied for number 13 with 27 releases. Johann Sebastian Bach. This is Alexis Weisenberg. Chromatic Fantasy, so solo piano from Bach. X library copy. 27 releases that I have on vinyl from Bach. And Porter Wagner, Tore Down. All tied for 13th. Now number 11. Two people are tied for that. Doc Watson. This is Memories, 2 LP set on United Artists. Put out in 1975. Doc Watson, guitarist, and Bob Dylan. Both with 28 releases in my collection. This one didn't count because it's a CD, but this was the most recent one that I picked up, a library copy. Modern Times. This was 2006. Then tied for number 9, 2 artists. Neil Young. So here's his Weld cassette. This is a Record Club BMG issue. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Weld. And then the Beatles also tied 29 vinyl issues. So here's Beatles P.S. I Love You on the Tolly label. This didn't count towards the total, but just something different to show you. P.S. I Love You backed by Love Me Do on the Tolly label. And then just something different. The Brothers Four sing Lennon and McCartney. On Columbia. So Beatles related. All right, so number 7. 2 artists tie for this with 30 final releases each. Starting with Eric Burdon. So I got this CD, which didn't count towards the total, but one of the most recent releases that I picked up. Night Winds Dying. This was put out in 1996. And then this one is the most recent one that I actually got. No More War, Eric Burdon. It's basically the same as this, but it has one additional track. Tobacco Road. A live 10-minute version. So Eric Burdon, No More War, put out on Strange Records. And this was 2008 when this was released. And they're tied with the Kingston Trio. So this is live in Newport, live at Newport. 1959 Newport Folk Festival's live recording, Kingston Trio. So they were tied for number 7 with 30 releases each. Now number 5, 2 more artists are tied with 32 albums each. Buck Owens, Monsters Holiday, 1974 on Capitol. It's a Monsters Holiday, and they're tied at 32 albums each with Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson Style on RCA, 1966. So that was number 5. Now number 4, all by themselves, Rolling Stones. So this might have been the most recent acquisition, but if not, I just picked it. Steel Wheels. There's the inner sleeve. So Rolling Stones, Steel Wheels. Then at number 3, Keith Jarrett comes in at 37 albums. So here's the most recent one, Budapest Concert. 2 LP set on ECM. This was a July 3rd, 2016 recording, put out in 2020. Keith Jarrett, Budapest Concert. At number 3. Number 2, even though I've used this to mean 2 albums, this is the number 2 recording in this thread, the top 20. Dolly Parton with 48 albums. So, The Seeker and We Used To. This was on RCA. This is, 1975 issue. Number 2 in my collection with 48 albums by Dolly Parton. So you can see what I said about country and classical dominating things. So to prove that point, or to supplement it, Beethoven. Ludwig von Beethoven is the number 1 artist in my collection with 60 albums. So, William Bachhaus doing Piano Concerto number 3 on the Decca label. This is made in England. And then just something different to supplement it. Richard Dyer Bennett, folk artist, put out this album, Beethoven Scottish and Irish Songs. So lyrics to Beethoven, melodies, put out in 1958 on the Dyer Bennett Records label. Beethoven, Scottish, and Irish songs. Piano and voice. So there you have it. My top 20 most popular albums in my collection based on the number of LPs that I have for each one. Again, if I included CDs and digital copies and things like that, this would change. The Byrds might show up at some point in that most popular type, but this is what it is based on the physical media of the vinyl LP. So, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.